first and foremost, something about the actual start and creation of the Axe Nocturnal Emissions in 1980. How and why were Nocturnal Emissions created? Did I bring Tissue of Lies? It's Tissue of Lies, the CD version. I'll take it out of there because there's a bit of reflection on the sleeve there. So 1980, we recorded this. Up until that point I was making cassettes and experimenting with music on cassette. The cassette format was quite interesting in that it's not a valuable, expensive format, and you've got plenty of creative leeway with a cassette. So I produced these little handmade cassette editions at home of these more or less live improvisations and tape collages that I was doing with my brother Danny Ayers and Caroline Kay, who was my partner at that time, and they came out called The Pump. There was either 4 or 5 pump tapes. So I mean, I wouldn't say there's any distribution for these, but I mean, I hadn't got any background as a music producer, and I hadn't got any musical skills to talk of. That wasn't the point. I mean, I think the fact that the three of us were actually non-musicians who were at least 2 of us were aware of Brian Eno's wafflings about non-musicians. I was trying to apply that sort of idea, and also I was trying to apply some of the ideas from Captain Beefheart's Trout Mash replica, where he got a bunch of people together in a cabin and trained them for a year very cruelly. These were actually competent musicians, but he trained them very cruelly to produce his particular brand of music. I wasn't aware of how long they'd actually spent and involved, and what a cruel guy Beefheart was. I mean, I met him, but it didn't seem all that bad. But it was sort of applying these ideas from Eno's experiments with the scratch orchestra, what he'd learned from Cornelius Cardew, and ideas about untrained musicians, which were sort of coming to the fore with punk rock. And just about everybody I knew at that time who was interesting, let's say, had joined some sort of a punk group. Late 70s we're talking, or post-punk group, or arty punk group, or whatever. But that was the main vector for getting ideas across then, because you didn't have this instant access to video that you have these days. And I was a sort of I would have worked with this kind of thing back then if it was available, but back then I was working with Super 8 and 16mm, and it's very expensive and time consuming and difficult. So first record was Tissue of Lies. We